So, hello YouTube. Somebody on a forum had a bit of a problem loading straight case cartridges, and all I've got on empties to showcase this lot are some 30 carbine, but only about 9 of them. Everything else I've got is, funnily enough, is full pretty much. Not many that need filling apart from some 30-30s. So here we go. There's a finished round. I'm using H110 powder, 15 grain of it, and the bullets I'm using are just copper plated, I think, not washed, copper plated berries, lead bullet just for plinking. And let's have a look where they are. Floating around here somewhere. 30 carbide. It's these guys. Yeah, 110 grains, normal round nose for the 30 carbine. So the cases are kind of clean-ish, and I popped the primers out before I cleaned them. And I'm going to resize them quick. Oh, chip. There's the resizing die. And it's a carbide die, so there's no, and straight wall case, so there's no lubrication really needed. And we just run these through quick. Actually got more of these, but we'll just do 9 because it don't need to bore the heck out of you. Just to show what's going on with this. The problem that this person had was he didn't quite bell the case enough, and it was scraping the coating of the bullets off, and they were sitting in there a little bit cattywampus. So we're going to try and avoid that. So that's the guys resized. Let me grab some of these really rare things. They're called primers. Small rifle, number 400. There we go. And we need, how many of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. Yeah. There's 7. And we have a couple more. There we go. Now the load data I used out of the Lyman book, and 15 grain is below max load because these are not cup and core bullets. These are just basically cast. So there you go. It's just below flush. I'm using the Frankfurt Arsenal priming tool. I really like this thing. I had one from Lee, I think, and I just couldn't get on with it. I ended up putting it next to the boat in a moment of anger. I know exactly where it is, somewhere in the spot in the ICW. So, and there we go. Put that out the way. And now we are ready for some powder and the cork. So belling the case out. Let's have a look. Screw this die down to get on the case mouth, and then about a half a turn, and then we'll see where we are. Now this thing doesn't have to look like a trombone. It is just to make those grab a bullet, and it should just stick in there a little bit more. That looks about right. There you go. Yeah, now the bullet just begins to grab in there, and you can set it on fairly straight, but it doesn't look like a funnel. Yeah, really just a little bit. So we'll do all of them quick. I do these and fill them with powder at the same time. I'm going to stick my powder funnel on there like that. That's a buried case there, and then we'll dump 15 grains of powder in there. Fill that puppy back up again. Take this out of the way. We're finished round here to set up our seating die. Run that in there. And I think, yep, that was still fairly well set up. Where are you? There. Stick that in there. Put a bullet on top. Kind of straightish. And measure it. There we go. I have to change this to inches because I'm metric and I usually run this in millimeters. So there we have our original round, 1.65 and a half, and 1.68 and a bit, so we need to come down just a tad. About there. Or do it the lazy way and zero that puppy, and then you know 20 thou. We need to come in. That should do it, in theory. Kick more. And there we have it. I call that good enough. It's not a bench rest gun. Yeah. So now you can crimp these. I don't bother with a 30 carbine because A, there's not enough recoil to make any difference, and B, the way I build them, they are really pretty close here at the top still. Plus on a 30 carbine the bullet seats on the case rim, so you don't really want to roll crimp that in there because that'll screw up your head spacing. So that's the easy way of doing it. Build the case. dump 15 grains of powder in there. Get that running. Grab a bullet. Stick that on there straightish. Seat it. Let's check again where we are. And there we go. And then we just do the rest of them. Now you could taper crimp them, yeah, or use that Lee crimp die. But I found with a 30 carbine, it's not really worth bothering with. As I said, and it's not a bench rest gun. This is really just for plinking or dispatching the odd varmint. And the better half likes to play with this thing as well. So there's no flat spots on the top, i.e. the flaring of the case was enough to make the bullet seating nice and easy. Yeah, the bullet sits in there straight, and there's no marks on the bullet. Now remember, these are not cup and core bullets. These are just plated stuff. So basically a cast that looks like copper. Now there are quicker ways of doing this. I could use the powder dump, and when I have more to do, I tend to use it. But just doing these few here, that guy works just fine. Usually for pistol loads and these small rifle stuff, when I have a bunch of them, I just run them here through the, set the powder measure up and throw the charges. But this guy does the trick. Flaring, dump some powder in. Stick a bullet in there. Come on. Pretty easy. I do like that RCBS automatic powder measure, especially for doing stuff like this. It just makes life easy. Easy at that. No rocket science. And now these guys can join their mini brethren in the 30 carbine box. All that's left to do is clean out the powder measure quick. There we go. This gravity thing, they need that switched on 24/7. Off. And that guy goes back there. Done. Close it up. Only ever one powder on the bench and all that. Basic rules. There you go. And that is how you do that. Stick that back in there. Ready for another day. Have a good one.